Hello, my name is Ilona, and I want to take a look at the energies of September. It's the 3rd of September today, it's Saturday, and I just want to take a look at that. So I've got 4 rows. I already did the card reading in my Dutch video. The first row will be about the events or what's going to happen, the second about challenges and blockades, the third is advice, and the fourth row of 3 cards is about what's going to happen or where is it going to lead to. But I actually started talking about how to say that, a dream I had last night. So it's very vivid still, and I still feel the energies, and it was very strange. I was in another timeline. It was a very strange feeling because I remembered this timeline, but in that dream, or where I was, everything was different, but not in a very, how do you say this, it's still possible in this lifetime. So I was actually visiting a home that I do not know in this lifetime, but I did know, or it felt very right to me in that timeline. A lot of loving people, and I was really welcomed, and there was a party going on. They were young and old. It was just a wonderful energy, and people were talking about their emotions, their feelings. They wanted to know how I was feeling, and there was this openness. Usually in my timeline, if my family gets together, it's very just how to say, very superficial talk, talking about what's going on in the news. It's never about how someone's truly feeling, what's going on in their lives. There is never a real connection. And there the connection was so real. It was just so welcoming. And I still feel that. It's just amazing. And I was just looking around and a bit stunned. And if they needed anything, I mean, food or drinks or whatever, they would just materialize it. They would just do something with their hands and it was there. It was very interesting. So there were telekinetic powers, and I noticed in my dream that I had those powers there as well. I was able to just get what I wanted or what I needed. I could just materialize that. So it was a completely different atmosphere. It was just very open, and something very interesting happened. I saw someone come in that looked like my brother in my timeline. So he had a similar energy. I'm not sure if he truly looked the same as my brother, but I recognized him as my brother, and I was confused. What is he doing here? And we kind of connected, and in that dream, I've kind of felt that we had the same mother. So in his timeline, the timeline I was in my dream, we had the same mother as we have in this, in my timeline, but he had a different father, which was very interesting. So I kind of felt, and it's almost like I got information just kind of just pouring in, that also his name, I know that my mother always wanted to name my brother after her father, who died when she was 1.5 years old. So she was very young, and my grandmother was left with 4 children, a very young child, and a farm. And it's very, very tough. It was very tough on her, and it really defined their lives and my mother's life. Well, in that life, that timeline, that didn't happen, because not only did my brother in that timeline got the name of my grandfather, he also knew my grandfather in that timeline. So he lived, and my mother actually married someone else. That's very interesting how certain things that happen, choices that were made, of course, unconsciously, consciously, have an effect. So there was this completely different timeline. It's very interesting. So I kind of just woke up from that, and I'm still feeling the energy. It was just a very, very connected. It was just a very different timeline. So it was just interesting. But I was fully aware of the timeline I'm from here, so this timeline. But it's just, I was kind of just popped in there, and I just fit in there right away. So it's very possible that that's still happening, that we can change timelines. Maybe not that drastic, but we have that capacity to make different choices. I know there are people that saying there's just one timeline. I believe Alex Collier is talking about just one timeline. I'm not so sure about that. I do believe that choices that are made have an effect on your life, and that in a way changes timelines. So I do believe, and especially when I look at a lot of people right now, I have a feeling there are a lot of timelines just kind of melted together. There's so many people are there, they have these opinions, and there are people are very aware, some people are not aware and just living their lives. Of course, they can still change their minds, to become aware doesn't, it can take a second. So I keep my mind open about that there's still a lot of people that maybe are asleep now that can still wake up. We just don't know. It's a choice that they have to make, that their souls have to make, obviously. So I'll leave that open, but it was very interesting. I still have a feeling that a lot of timelines are kind of moving through each other, and that we are going to see different timelines. But I believe that as you're still capable of creating a completely different timeline just based on your choices. But that's the feeling I have, and that's what resonates with me. The cards I have for September, these first cards are talking about what will going on, the events or the energy of the events. This is the Ace of Swords. I have the 8 of Swords and the 5 of Cups. Now this doesn't look very positive in a way, although we have the Ace of Swords, so I do believe more and more truth will come out. Swords card talk about communication. I truly believe things from the wasp sting are coming out more and more. It doesn't mean immediately, but I do see a lot of sadness and people feeling like they have nowhere to go. So I do believe everything will be ramped up. We are really in the last part, at least how I see it from what's going on. Of course, after a lot of truth will come out, and after the scare event, we still have to rebuild. So it will take some time. But of course, then we won't be, how do you say that? A lot of people at least know the truth. Because right now, a lot of people are still confused, have no idea what's going on. They feel like they're trapped, like they have nowhere to go. That's the 8 of Swords. And I believe that it will be emphasized this September. People will feel the threat of these energy prices. We're already seeing truths coming out that it's nonsense that the prices are so high. Well, in the Netherlands, the energy prices are crazy. It's insane compared to France or compared to other countries. More and more truth is coming out. People worldwide will feel a lot of people will feel like they're stuck, but it is also a way to wake them up. So they can see that they are the ones in control to take this away and take away the blindfold. But a lot of sadness. So I do believe more and more people will be leaving the earth plane. Information about the stings are coming out more and more. They're still trying to suppress this, but I don't think that that's going to work for very long. People are connecting the dots. People are dropping like flies. I'm sure people are now, at least someone in their family or loved ones, or even connected to them somehow. They've lost them, or they've gotten very sick. I'm sure people are starting to notice that. So there's quite some sadness, disappointment with their governments, with what's going on. So it's going to be a very tough month, but it's to wake up people, to really show them what's going on. This is really about the truth month. So to me, this feels, especially with the Ace of Swords as the first card, this is a truth month. Truths will be coming out, and it's up to every one of us to know how to deal with it, especially for the people that are already aware, to help out if people want our help. So you have to leave everyone and see if they want help or not. It's really, you cannot force your help on someone. I'm sure you've noticed that by now, that really it's not going to go anywhere. Someone has to be open for that. But be ready. More and more people are going to kind of be confused, hurt, sadness, feeling that they can't go on, or that they kind of at the end of their ropes. So it's going to be a tough month, especially for people that are not aware. And the things that are coming out, it will be very confusing to them. Well, the blockades we have, or the challenges, will be the 9 of Cups, the Moon card, which is also a 9 because it's number 18, and 1 and 8 is 9 as well. So that the 9 is usually before the end of the 10. The 10 is the end of the cycle in the tarot cards. So we are reaching the end, and of course this is the 9th month. September is the 9th month, so we are heading towards a certain conclusion. It probably won't be in September, we just don't know that. And we have the Four of Wands for this. So these are the challenges, the blockades. It's very important to find like-minded people. A lot of people feel very lonely, like they don't have any connection, disconnected with the world, disconnected with themselves. So it's very important to, really work with your own energy. This is a card of someone sitting down and just like, well, I'm giving up. Whatever happens, happens. I'm not really going to do anything. I'm not going to work with my energies. I'm not going to work with my shadow. I'm just going to, sit here and wait till everything goes by. So this could come from this deep fear that they really don't have any power. They don't have any influence. The dark energies obviously programmed us to think that we are powerless. That this feeling, that we are powerless. We don't have anything to contribute. Things are just happening around us and we don't have anything to do to change that. And this is really a challenge to really work with yourself, understanding you're a spiritual being in a body. It's very important that we also, of course, connected to our bodies. Otherwise, we won't be able to manifest. We won't be able to ground our energy. But we need to do something. And that doesn't mean like take all these actions. Only do those actions if it feels right to you. And you only know if it feels right to you if you're connected with your intuition. And then you have to connect with your energies and work through all your fears, unconscious, what you carry unconscious with you, what's going on in your life. You have to do your shadow work, because then you connect with your intuition and then you can start doing things, maybe work out initiatives with people or start something, because then you start with the right energy. You don't start with all kinds of frustration or anger, because if you're going to do actions from anger, from frustration, then that is what you're going to create. That energy will manifest as well, and you will create a lot of resistance. So this is about changing your own energy, connecting with yourself. That will be the biggest challenge, because then you can start really manifesting new situations. And then we have the advice, which is, of course, similar to, in a way, the blockades, but then the challenges, but then in a different way. We have the World and the 10 of Cups, which is interesting because this is the 10. So this is really the ending of something. And the World card is the last card of the major arcana. So this is really about ending a cycle. We are really in the end of a certain cycle. And it's important that we understand that. And that we become one again. That we really balance our mind, our heart, and our body, our spirituality as one. That we work with our body as well. We take care of ourselves. We follow what really makes us happy, our life's mission, connection with our feelings, our emotions, and that we will manifest that. That is so important. The advice is really to connect, to become one, so we can start manifesting this beautiful new world from what we truly desire. And we really desire this beautiful new energy. If my dream is just a sliver of what is possible, that the connection was so beautiful, and just be able to materialize what we need, so we're not depending on things outside of ourselves for that, is just wonderful. So we truly are capable of doing incredible things, but we have to become one in ourselves. We have to fully connect with ourselves. We have to start enjoying our lives and enjoying what we have right now, because that will create a new energy, a manifestation of gratefulness. So that's why I always emphasize that you not only have to work with your shadow, but also enjoy your life. Feel connected with yourself. Do things that is important to you, that makes you happy. Small things. It doesn't have to be big things, but just enjoy some time for yourself. Maybe read a book, or a very nice meal for yourself that you really long for, or that you really wanted. It's about creating this harmony in yourself, this connection. And most important, connect your mind, your heart, your spirituality, and your body. We are like one, and it's very important that we become one in ourselves, so we can start ending this awful time and awful period that we've been in for way too long, so we can create this new earth. Well, the last cards are the outcome, so to speak, and this doesn't bode well in a way, but I have a feeling this is more the beginning of September, this is halfway through September, and this is the end of September. So we have the Two of Wands, the Four of Swords, and we have the Ace of Pentacles, which is a very good card. But first it will look like nothing's really happening in a way. It's more like we're in between. So this is like choice hasn't really been made. So in a way we have a lot of information coming out, a lot of truth coming out, but it still feels like nothing's really changing. It's kind of the energy we've been in for a couple of months now. There is so much happening. You can really see it, but ultimately in our lives, things are in a way still the same. So it's this frustration that you can't really see changes yet. And I think in the middle of September, still this feeling that we're put on hold. So it's possible maybe even more restrictions are coming in. I'm not sure about that. They will try, obviously. But this feels like we're standing on hold, waiting for something. And at the end of September, that doesn't immediately mean that there's going to be a scary event. I'm kind of very, careful in mentioning it, but there will be a new beginning at the end of September. So things will change in a way. We will see things changing. But it's very important to understand with the scare event that is just so gigantic. This war is such a humongous level. It's very difficult. I hope that the scare event will happen as soon as possible, but it is in a way, you know, not up to me. They're not going to call me. So we'll just have to wait and see. Of course, be prepared. But this really is about stepping into our own authority. It's very important, and I want to add that we follow our own compass. It's all right to do research and to watch other people's videos, read books, other people's opinions, but you are the one to decide whether it resonates with you or not. You are your own compass. We need to step away from other people telling us what to do. Well, what do you think about this? It's all right to be open to other people's opinions, but you have to make a decision whether you follow that or not and whether it feels right to you. Don't automatically follow other people's opinions. Don't wait for other opinions. Like, well, I don't know anymore. You really have to connect with your intuition. You will know what is the right way for you. And some things that may be right for other people may not be right for you. That doesn't say anything about what's being said or the opinions. It just means it's not right for you at that moment. Follow your own path. Be your own guide in a way, you know, be completely one in yourself. And then whatever happens, you can follow your own compass. And it's really important that we do that now and that we also trust what's going on, especially the people that are aware, that are awake. Trust what's going on. Do not fall into this victimhood of, well, it's been going on so long, nothing is happening. That is up to you. Then you have to do some shadow work and really dig in. What's going on? Where is this frustration coming from? Where is this impatience coming from? I fully understand the frustration. I feel the frustration as well at times, and I feel through it because it gives me an opportunity to heal certain things that may still be hidden somewhere in my unconsciousness, because a lot of us already had lifetimes before here on this earth, on this dimension, and maybe different timelines, so we can still carry things from other timelines with us. I do believe that a lot of things is still connected to Atlantis. To me it is. And Atlantis, I felt powerless. I was very angry and frustrated with what's going on. And that can still come up. So see that as if you feel like you're losing hope, like things are falling apart, feel through that. Open yourself up to that and feel through it. It's a time for you to heal. It's an opportunity for you to heal. But we really need to follow our own compass. That's what we're here for. And that's really what we want. We want to be able to make decisions for ourselves. I'd like to leave it at this and hope to see you in another video. Bye.